Hello, everybody. Welcome to this impromptu catch up with you online. This is just a little note for a pre-show broadcast for letting everyone know that tomorrow night we have our Gap Network show online, but we have some amazing guests tomorrow evening, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But we're just going to give a few moments just for a few folks to come online and to join us as well this afternoon. I hope your afternoon's been going great. Hope you've been having a good week so far. Today's only Monday, I know, but thank you for those that are online with us already now. But I hope your week has been going tremendously well. We're just here this afternoon just to be able to have a chat to you about our Gap Network show, which is coming up tomorrow night. We've got some great things to share with you. You'll see scrolling across the bottom there that there's going to be our special guest speaker, Andrew Stone. Now, for those of you that don't know Andrew, he is an amazing communicator, great business strategist, and has some great marketing strategies and various other things. There's so much there within his, his toolbox of resource that you'll be able to draw from tomorrow night. It's just going to be a tremendous time having him. And another wonderful young lady, Yasmina, who's going to be talking with us about gaps in our society, particularly in the gaps in the youth realm. And we're going to have some discussions around that. We're going to have some discussions around some other things tomorrow night. Myself and Larry will be online, and some others that we'll have with us also. We'll probably have some great music. We're certainly going to have some fun. Probably have some prizes. In fact, we'll have some prizes tomorrow night for those of you that can guess answers to certain questions. We'd love to get some of our product and our services out to you, and some other things as well. So all of that is fantastic. We're looking forward to doing that. So that's tomorrow night at 5:30 online. So we look forward to having you online tomorrow night. It's just going to be great to have you with us. Now, what I wanted to do while I was online as well, just for a few minutes, just to actually talk to you about some things that make us a leader, some leadership mindset stuff. And I've got some great notes here of some things that we've put together over the last few years on leadership mindset. And I'd just love to be able to just take a few moments with you on that, just as while we're on here as well. So don't forget, tomorrow night, 5:30, we're going to be online. We don't want you to miss that. We want you to gather as many people as you can. Share this live once it's finished. Share it and share it and share it and share it and keep sharing it. We want you to subscribe to that. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. This is going live to our YouTube channel as we speak. And it's also going live to my profile page into our Bridging the Gap tribe. So we're looking forward to doing that tomorrow evening to a whole bunch of people. But tonight I just wanted to take just a few minutes with you to talk about some things that make us leaders, and give us a mindset by which we can live, not only as leaders in business or leaders in a not-for-profit organization or church organization or whatever it may be that we're involved with, but so much more than that. Leadership is a mindset that we have around living our lives, leading our families, leading our relationships well, leading groups of people that we're in contact and connecting with well. All of those things come into this, and leadership is a huge part of how we live our life each and every day, because we're leading something or someone, on a regular basis, whether we realize it or not, whether we kind of think that we're a leader or not. We're definitely leading in that. So let me just give to you a couple of points that I think that, in fact, I'll just give you 3 points this afternoon on leadership. Number one is that when we look at leadership, we see failure as a beginning, not an end. You see failure as a beginning, not an end. Now, in a lot of cases, when people have failed, and I know in the past, I've definitely failed with some things in my life. And what I find is that failure can sometimes just stop you cold, and you feel like, my goodness, I can't do this anymore. And as a matter of fact, what happens is that we actually just freeze our life right in that moment. And oftentimes people never go past that. It's so sad when you see that, when you see people who have never actually gone past a previous failure where they've actually got things wrong, where they've their life wrong, their situation wrong. And so it's quite sad to see that kind of thing happen. And it's sad because people just live in that failure and they actually work their way through it and they go over it and over it and over it and over it. And instead of getting beyond it, they actually just stop in that moment and they freeze in that moment. It's almost like that, like an instant freeze moment where there's nothing else that can be had. And people then go through life surviving rather than thriving. And so what we've got to learn to do as leaders, and what we've got to learn to do as human beings, I guess, in that sense as well, is that we've got to recognize that failure is just the beginning. And what that also means is it's something that we get up from. We've often heard the story of the one who wins is the one who gets up one more time than they have actually fallen down. And it's a great principle to live by, is that we need to get back up again when things don't go our way, when things are not going the way that we believe that they should have or should do. We've got to get up just that one more time, more than when we've fallen down. And that's a very, very good way to live. And it's certainly not the end. It's just the beginning of new things. So when we've failed, and what we do is we take from those failures, we take them into the next part of our life and how we actually can live our life in a mode, I guess, of success and significance. And from those failures, we learn. I've often heard, different football coaches and various people that I've read about, listened to, how to listen to podcasts or watch YouTube clips or whatever, who, all of them say basically this, is that they learn or have learned more from their failures than they have from their successes. And in fact, again, football coaches, particularly NRL coaches, you hear it almost ad nauseum, that very little they learn from a win, because sometimes a win that we have, whether it be, I guess, a fluky kind of win, or whether it be just sort of a win, like it's by a lot of, by 50-2 or something like that, that doesn't necessarily teach a team much. There'll be some things that will come out of it that would be pleasing, obviously, things that they've learned and things that they've done. But ultimately, what they've learned in a 50-2 win oftentimes comes from the 50-2 loss, which is where they've come from, and they've learned some things. They've learned some things about themselves. They've learned some things about others and the rest of their teammates. So failures are a great place to learn from and to get character from, where we actually get up again and we say, okay, we're going to do this. And there's so many ways to look at this, so many things to look at this. But let me just give you this point, that you see failure as a leader, as a beginning, not the end. So that's great point number one there. There's another couple of points I just want to bring to your attention here that I have in my notes. Is you make peace with the past and move forward to the future, which is definitely related to what we just talked about. But oftentimes the past itself is something that we don't have peace about. We've great regrets about it. We have great concerns about the things that we've done in the past, and we're continuing to live in that way. And instead of actually living the way that we're meant to live, we're supposed to live with having peace with the past. And of course, then once that we have peace with the past, then in the present, we can then begin to think about the future. There's the past, the present, the future, as we all know. And of course, the present is something we need to consider as a gift, because, as we know, that the gift is a present and the present is a gift. And so what we need to do is when we grab hold of the principle of the fact that, hey, I've made that mistake in the past, I've done that thing wrong, I've failed in the past, I'm going to now let that be. There's nothing else I can do about it, because at the end of the day, we can't, unless we can time travel, and I haven't yet met somebody that has. But unless we can time travel, we can't go back to the past and try and change all of that. And what if we had? The thing about it is that it's what we do with the past, lessons that we have learned, that will actually determine our real future, and how strong and what pillars of strength that we have leading into the future. So you make peace with the past and you move forward to the future. And in moving forward to the future, we have so much to to give and to learn from that. So that's point number 2 that I wanted to bring to you. And my final point that I want to bring to you as well is all about your uniqueness, which we should never actually compare ourselves with other people. And as we do that, what happens in life is we kind of, and sometimes we do it, I guess, almost subconsciously. We compare ourselves. We compare, what we're wearing, what we're, our new haircut, or whatever it may be. That's we compare ourselves in terms of, the car we have, the house we have, the various things like that. And sometimes subtly, sometimes like just overtly, people will just continue to compare and compare and compare. So much so that really what it shows is that there's a huge insecurity and there's a huge identity crisis or identity theft that has taken place in a person's life. So what we need to do, no matter what we're doing in terms of leadership, even in normal life and every day, we've got to learn to not compare ourselves to other people, but actually look at ourselves as that unique being, that unique person that actually does things just totally and absolutely uniquely in the way that we are different to everyone else. We have things that make a difference in who we are. Oftentimes people talk about how, in a business sense, how do we make a difference? How does that happen that we actually be different or are different in some way or another? Well, the first thing to actually remember is that we actually have the ability to be different just from the very beginning, from the get-go. Our personalities are different, the way we're made up, the way we think about life, even as we grow up, our perspectives on life. We're all so very, very, very unique in what we do. Yet oftentimes people find themselves in the midst of trying to be unique, trying to be like somebody else. In fact, there are a lot of people today in the world in which we live who are trying to lead from the point of view of something they've learned from somebody else, that they're just trying to copy for the sake of copying it, rather than taking the principle and using that principle and applying it through the uniqueness of who they are. So those are the 3 points I just wanted to bring up this afternoon as we're talking about things. As you can see, going across the bottom of our screen today is that we have some great stuff coming up. Tomorrow night at 5:30, you're going to be hearing a lot more of this kind of stuff, a heck of a lot more stuff. Some great strategic stuff from Andrew Stone, hearing about what he's doing as well. Will be exciting to hear his story, hear a little bit of his life story from Yasmina as well, who's coming on to talk about the gaps in our youth and our youth society. Some other great tips and things for your life and for your business, particularly for your business life, is what we're doing our Gap Network show for. And so tomorrow night, I just can't wait to actually have you on board and have you join us for some coaching questions, for some stuff that's actually going to really upskill you, help you in what you're doing. And at the same time, it's going to uplift and encourage you to be the best possible person you can be, to take the lid off the mindset of being a leader, being a strong person, being a person who actually lives their lives according to the way that we're meant to live. So tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 5:30, Tuesday the 20th of 7th, 5:30 p.m., we're going to be here live online at sharp, 5:30 sharp. We're going to be here live online to go through and to share with you for that next hour with some great stuff, some great information, great inspiration, some great encouragement, some great upskilling, some great coaching sessions and lessons, and our Foundry. We're going to actually and we're also going to be sharing some new things that are happening in the life of the Gap Network through Gap Coaching. So don't miss tomorrow night. It's just going to be such a great night. We can't wait to have you with us. Don't forget, for those of you that are watching this later on, please share it. Please share it. I'm going to get you to share this as much as possible across all your networks, all your people. Let's get as many people online as we can. Let's just get, let's get hundreds of people online watching this show, because I know that it's going to actually change your life if you watch. I know it's going to help you with what you're doing in the business. There are gaps in your businesses. There are things that need to be bridged. There's areas that need to be filled and helped. And some of those gaps, and you need help with them. And so tomorrow night, 5:30, we can't wait to have you with us. It's been such a joy to be with you just for these few minutes. Have yourself a great evening. Have yourself a great night. And we'll look forward to seeing you very, very, very soon. Tomorrow night, Tuesday the 20th of the 7th at 5:30 online, live with some great guests as we've got down below there. And look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now. See you later.